All right, welcome back. This is the Pencil King Show, and today we are speaking with who I like to think of as the heart of the Evolve student base, Peggy Durant, and she's really been a light inside the program. And for a long time, people were like, "Who's this woman posting all the time?" And like every week, she posts movies for people to get into, art-related movies, and a lot of other stuff. Just the enthusiasm is infectious, and so that's why I wanted to speak with Peggy first to give you listeners sort of a sense of what it's like inside the program. So welcome, Peggy. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful, Mitch. Thank you very much for having me. I'm having a good time.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it seems like when it comes to art, you're always having a good time. And I think it's something that's unique about you from other people I've seen is how you let art embody like as much time as possible. Because if you're out, you're at a museum or a
Yeah.
gallery or taking a class or speaking to somebody about art. It's just like it's what you love to do, and I think that's so cool.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. Art is everywhere. And I just try to, because I call my job the job, right? So we have to go to the job and you have to take care of yourself and pay the bills. But what do you do with that extra time? And for me, anytime I can get, even before going to work, I go to a museum and infuse myself with creativity. Because I think people say they're not creative, but I don't think that's true. I think we resist being creative, but you're creative all the time trying to make your life work. So art helps me in that way, and it's also good to see beautiful things as much as possible in your daily life. So yeah, that's what art does for me. And if I could do it I will be doing it. Let me change that for the rest of my life. So that's the plan.
And where's home for you?
Newark, New Jersey, but I'm originally from New York, Brooklyn, New York. I've been in New Jersey for 14 years, but I'm not far from New York. I actually work there still too. So yeah, about a half hour away.
We'll get into it because I think it's a little bit longer than a half hour. Some days. So
Oh,
yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit.
yes.
But first, like, when did you first get into the Evolve program? When did you start?
September 2017. And I'm with the first group, and I came over to from Pencil Kings, which is another great site that I love. Yes.
And so, before you came to Evolve, what were you doing? And like, give us a sense of what your art was like, because I know
Mhm.
Evolve has a very uh, like a set process, and you start right
Yeah.
from the beginning and then you build up from there. So people are coming in from all different places. Some people are already professional, some people are literally have done nothing. It's only ever just been a dream for them, and
Right.
they're starting from scratch. But for you, where did you start?
Uh, well, I started with Pencil Kings doing the challenges. I never painted before ever. Uh, and I just drew, drawing here and there, nothing really professional.
Like no watercolor, no acrylic.
Nope, not
Wow.
at all.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, just joined a lot of art programs online. Took an art appreciation class in college, and I went there for computer science and did this project in art appreciation. And they was like, "No, you should be an art major." So I loved it so much. So I think there were signs telling me, "Go do art," but since my daughter was like, "Artists don't really make any money," I was like, oh, okay, let me appease her and just stick with the computer science. But no, it's art. It was art for me.
Yeah, that's such a common story that there's pressure to do what from family or friends or society
Yes,
or everyone. And so you end up
yes.
doing this other thing, and then people are like rediscovering art once they're in their career and sort of like, there's got to be something more. And then they pick up that pencil or that paintbrush, or they go to a museum and they're like, oh, right, I remember.
Right.
It's been dormant for a while, but I remember.
Exactly. And that's how it is for me every time I go to a museum, a gallery. And believe me, the art that I see is varied. Like I don't have any one specific art category. It's not just impressionist or modern or what have you. I go to see everything. And it's oh my God, it's just so amazing. I just love it so much. Yeah. So yeah, I'm supposed to be doing art. So and just to let you know that since I've been doing Evolve, my daughter's like, okay, you could go and be an artist. Like for the stuff that I've done already, she's convinced that I can make it as an artist. So her whole attitude has changed.
And do you think was she slow to come around, or was it like one day just something clicked and she's like, now that you did this, okay, I'm a believer now.
Right. It was the snowman. I showed her the snowman. Let me just show you my snowman because I have my little board up here that we'll talk about later. But it was these. And she was like, oh my God, you did that? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, that is so great. You can be an artist now. You can be an artist. I know you can do it. And that made me feel so great because she's my biggest critic and I value what she says. And, I know she loves me. I know a lot of times family, they tell you these things because they love you.
Yeah.
But when she said to me, yeah, you could go ahead and do it, I was like, yes, yes,
I think, and that's another common story that I'm seeing with the students is the family members coming around, and it takes a while. It doesn't
yes,
happen when you start. It's not just because you signed up that you're on your path. It's like you have to put in the work, but they watch people working, and then all of a sudden they do a piece where it's like,
right.
oh, that's pretty good. Like, and it's like, what? You notice what I'm doing? You feel almost invisible as an artist a lot of the time, and then suddenly the family members notice, or your friends notice, or your coworkers notice, like, you're doing this, like,
Exactly. Same thing with my coworkers too. I showed them my stuff and they're like, wait a minute, you did that? And they constantly like looking at me and I'm like, yeah. And they're like, nah, 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 we don't believe it. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
wow. Um,
Yeah.
so, like, why are you doing this? Like, what pushed you to get started with Evolve? Because, like you said, there's a lot of programs online. You're doing stuff with Pencil Kings, but like, I know why I was excited, and I tried to tell the Pencil Kings people about it. But for you, what was there something that you saw, or something that you heard, or that pushed you over the edge?
Well, Mitch, you inspire me. I mean, from Pencil Kings, the challenges, I improved my drawing skill with the challenges in Pencil Kings. And then your inspiration, listening to the podcast and you wanting to implement, and this is before you have Evolve, you wanting to implement an art education online that was genuine, that touched me. So when you said, oh, there's this new thing going on, Evolve and blah, 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 I was like, I'm in. Here's my money. Take it all. Take it. So that got me in. But I must say, when I joined in September, I was excited. But then I spiraled out. So I had a few, remember, I had a few of those months where I wasn't really doing that much. And then you can say it, you did something that really set me on fire. So yeah, I will say that even though you love art, I love art. Life gets in the way sometimes. You allow life to get in the way. Let me just say that, and you can just let all those things take up all your time, and that's what was happening a little bit after September.
Yeah,
But you
I
got me into it.
I think it's worth talking about that a little bit because I think that for people listening or watching that this bit can be helpful because I was the same way. I just wasn't getting things done and
Hmm.
I needed a reason too. It's kind of like how, Batman needs the Joker. I don't know if you're Batman or if I'm Batman or who's the
Yes.
Joker or whatever, but it's like these two sides, not that we're different sides, but just like they needed to come together and
Right.
that through that then something else could happen. And so it was basically like in the summer I just realized I wasn't getting my work done in Evolve, and you weren't getting your work done either. It's like, okay,
Right.
let's have some kind of a challenge. And I don't even remember how it started, but we just started getting at it, and it was like, okay, who's gonna finish their drawings first? And you
It
can
was so
see,
much fun.
yeah,
Ah,
it was, and you can see Peggy's board behind her. So those are all the drawings that we were doing there.
Right.
Um,
Exactly. And
and
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, and so yeah, we just went back and forth all summer. And when did you finish? Because I just finished about a week ago.
Oh my God, when did I get into block one?
Did you finish
Ooh.
in September, maybe?
We started in August, the beginning of August. I think it was August, September, probably October.
Maybe you finished at the beginning of October.
Yes, yes, it right
Because that's
because I
about when started, and then I got stalled. And the point that I wanted to bring up here is that now I'm going through another phase, and I think you are too, where you said to me
yes,
once where it's like, I don't have time for shopping anymore. I don't have time for other things, like it's because
right,
it's your art that you're focused on, and you realize that this is lighting you up. You're getting more from your art than you are from other things.
exactly, and it's true. When I think, well, I don't think, I know for me, I can resist doing something that's beneficial for me. And I realize that now art is beneficial for me. And when I interfere in that, I feel awful. So I stopped resisting doing the art by making excuses. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to spend time with this person or that person. It's like, no, that comes second to doing the art now. And it's not like you cut people off or anything. You just tell people every day for 2 hours, this is what I'm dedicated to. And then we'll hook up later. So it's just changing your whole mindset about getting the work in. And yeah, that's something that's worked for me thus far. Yeah.
And one of the things that I find inspiring about your story is that when I ask people who want to learn, it's like, well, why are you doing this? What's getting in the way? I don't have enough time. But you're pretty busy. Like you've got one of the most epic
Yes.
commutes that I've ever heard of. So every day, how much time are you spending commuting?
3.5 to almost 4 hours a day. Just going, just that. If I drove to work with no traffic, it'd be just 20 minutes from door to door. But man, transit and is commuting to New York is horrible now. And I want to be to work on time. So I even add extra time so I can get to the office. You don't want to be written up for being late every day. I mean, I don't think that's really professional. So yes, 3.5 to 4 hours per day. So that's a part-time job.
Yeah.
It's 20 hours a week. I work 5 days a week. So yeah, and I still be getting in like, wow, now like 5 hours, sometimes 5 hours a day. So I'm hungry for it. I mean, and I mean, it's that energy that after I'm inspired to go to work because I know once I finish my day, I'm going to be rewarded with getting back home to get my butt in the chair, as Mitch says, and do my painting. So yeah, yeah. But my commute is yeah, it's unforgiving.
Yeah, and it's great once you get to that point where your art is giving you so much, or that thing that you're doing, and you start to find like, hey, I'm saving way more money. It's like, how is that happening? It's like,
Yes,
because you're not going out and like just, oh, I don't have anything to do. Let's go for coffee, or let's go get some dessert, or let's go for a dinner. It's like, no, I'm doing my art, and then you miss a few meals, and you can still catch up with your friend, or your friend could come and have tea with you while you're working on your art, whatever it is. But you just start to realize it has these other changes that start happening.
exactly. And also, this goes into the affordability of the program. Because just imagine, like, I'll give you an example. I could go out to the mall and I could spend money buying things that I really don't need. But, it's a social thing. So, you go out with people and you shop. But now that I don't do that anymore, I get the fulfillment from the art that paid for Evolve.
Wow, I never. That's incredible. I never thought of it that way. That Evolve helps you save money.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I don't need that. This is giving me what I desire, So it's putting a smile on my face every night. It's allowing me to meet great people. I get to sit with the masters of the evolved universe, Mitch and Kevin, in the homework room because you visit. And I mean, I just can't ask for anything more. So who wants to go out and shop? I mean, that's old school.
So where's this all going? Like, what are you working towards, or where are you trying to get to with your art? And I imagine it's changed now because I feel like you're
Right.
starting to see a new future, a new possibility than before. But as of right now, today, what are you working towards?
Nothing. I'm this so let me just say this to everybody. You can go anywhere you want with this, with Evolve. It's not like I could say, oh, I could go and do figure drawing, but I don't think I can show in a gallery. Or I can go do impressionist art, but I don't think I can sell it. No, no, out of the question. You can do whatever you want. The confidence that you get from the program, and I mean, I'm almost in block three. The foundations is 4 blocks to get you started. I can do anything I want. So now it's just about keying into what I really enjoy about art. And I think it would be more figurative, like body forms or something like that, with a little abstraction in the back. But I have no clue as to what I want to do with it. I'm having so much fun now that, you know, whatever happens, it'll happen. That's the way I'm feeling right now. But there are a lot of possibilities, so I'm not worried.
And so when you're not creating art, what do you spend? I know you spend a lot of time with this, but like, you're not full time at this, but when you're not at the easel, how do you keep busy?
Oh, wow. I love anime. I love Japanese animation. So, yes, when sometimes when I'm frustrated because gradient is not working right in my painting, I'll be like, oh man, let me just go get. We was talking about this last night in the homework room. Let me go get some cookies and a cup of tea, sit on the couch, and look at what am I looking at now? Oh my God, I love Funimation, and I'm looking at Deadman Wonderland or Dragon Ball Z. I like Vampire Hunter D. I just a wide taste in anime. But yeah, that's what I do to enjoy myself. So yeah, it's mostly art and Japanese animation.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's it. Spending time with my family members, you know, and yeah, work. That's it, basically. Hmm.
And what's your strategy for getting your work done? This is a big one that I think I'm trying to uncover. What are the secrets or what are the common threads for people and how they work that other students could maybe learn from, whether or not they're involved in Evolve or something else? Because
Right,
this is serious, right? Like you can't just phone this in. It's not like, oh
right.
yeah, I did a bunch of stuff on a Saturday and I didn't do anything for 2 months. You have to
No,
do it and you have to want to do it. So
exactly.
what's been your strategy, or what are you finding that's working for you?
Okay, well, I'm not disciplined in the way that most people are, right? Like we have one of our evolvers, he was disciplined from the beginning, doing a little bit each day. I'm not that. But I don't try to crunch it in all in one day either. So I can have a run of probably like 3 days of doing my work, and then I'll take a 1 day break. Because for me, I find that I need to refresh. So it'll be like this, it'll be 5 hours, 1 hour, 10 hours if it's my day off. Then I get to rev up again for the next 3 or 4 days. So it's spontaneous. I almost spontaneous spirit. I'll just say that. So yes, art has something art related has to happen every day, but it's not a consistent time every day. So you have to know yourself. You have to be honest with yourself about who you are and observing yourself and see how you spend your time. I'm not talking about with art, I'm just talking about in general. And so, what time do you get up? What time do you prefer to get up? Some people have to get up early in the morning, but for me, I'm a late riser. So for me, 12 o'clock in the afternoon is fine. And I can stay up all night because I'm a night owl. So learn about who you are. Be honest about you. And this will take you walking around with a little book. This is what I do, and a pen in your bag. And just observe yourself go throughout your day. You'll learn so much
Yeah.
about who you are, what you gravitate to. What are your pet peeves? What gets on your nerves that you're speaking to yourself as you're walking around? You know, it's the best education ever. Socrates or Plato said the unexamined life is not worth living. You have to really look at yourself, and you're going to find out everything you need. When is the best time to do my art or whatever it is that you love? And you're going to carve that time out because it's very important to you. So, yeah, that's how it is for me, yeah, during the week. So I get a lot done, but it's not a set time every day.
Yeah, I like that because I'm the opposite, right? I'm like the robot. I'm very, or I try to be very systems based and mechanical. But I'm curious, how long have you been analyzing your life? Because this is something that I've only started doing about 3 weeks ago, and I'm
Uh-huh.
starting to learn a lot. And I used to be really frustrated, even though I have a pretty organized life, but I get really frustrated with like things coming in and nagging and bugging me. And then once I
Right,
realize it's like, well, hey, I just need to protect my mornings because that
right,
gives me enough time to feel productive. Then in the afternoon, like those annoyances, it's totally fine for them to come in, and they need to come in there. But there's a place
right.
for them now. But how long have you
Exactly.
been? How long have you been doing it? Is this something that started with Evolve, or have you been doing it for a while?
No, this has been a 10, I
Oh
say
wow.
10-year journey for me to get to this spot right now where I'm feeling really good about Peggy,
Mm.
um, and unapologetic about Peggy. Because there's some things that I'd be like, yo, Peggy, you can do better than that. But accepting it and being like, oh, okay, we'll work on that, but I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, yeah, 10 years. So I tell people when they're like, I got to get this done, you know, by New Year's, and I'm like, you're gonna stress yourself out because that's not who you are. And usually the people outside looking at you, they know you're not that person, but you don't know it yet. So no, no, it's observe yourself. You know that if this is the 10th time that you tried to do that organization project and it did not work out, something's going on there. All right. Maybe you're trying to do too much at once. Maybe you're afraid of doing a little bit at a time because you think you'll never complete it. These are things that you have to be honest with yourself about. And it's the most important thing you can do in your life. I can say it from experience.
And it just continues to blow my mind being in what I consider like the education field and how many skills like people aren't really talking about it. And you go
Right,
to in high school might be different now than when I was a kid, but it's like how to manage personal finance and do some investing.
right.
I don't really see that happening.
No,
How to like cook for yourself and eat properly and eat like clean food. It's like
right.
I don't see that happening.
Exactly.
How to know yourself so that you can be your own best guide and your own best teacher.
Right,
I don't even think that's on people's radar. Like some people for sure,
right.
but society at whole, it's not. It's just like,
No,
and these are only the things that I've seen. You know, I'm still
right.
learning too, and there'll be other things that I don't know about. That if somebody's listening to this, be like, Mitch, you gotta. Here's level 4. Now you're starting to realize you gotta look at yourself. Here's level 4, and I think
Right.
level 4 it might be, you know, well, once you got yourself sorted out, how can you
Right.
now be of service to more people? And so that I think that maybe
Exactly.
that's the next thing of like, okay, I took care of person number one. Well, maybe now I can really start helping people in a much bigger way. But while you're chaotic yourself, it's hard because
Right.
it's all
Exactly.
movement.
Because you're all over the place, and that you can't help anybody else in an efficient and genuine, authentic way if you're not taking care of yourself. I would not be doing the Facebook Evolve Facebook group today if I didn't do that self evaluation work 10 years
Mm.
prior. Okay, because I don't feel like, you know how some people they do things and they're like, I could have better use of my time. I don't really feel like being on here, but it's part of the process, so I'm just doing it. That's not it for me at all. It's all cohesive. It's like one big ball of love. I will say that. So nothing's being taken away from me, and nothing is being taken away from others. It's unexplainable, and the energy flow. That's why people always asking me, when do you sleep? I'm like, I can sleep, but the energy transfer that's happening in the Evolve program, you're not losing anything.
Mm.
So you're a little fatigued, but I can sleep for like 5 hours and rejuvenate, and I'm good to go for the next 21 hours. No, it's only 24 hours in a day. But you know what I mean. So yeah, self care. Someone in the homework room we said yesterday, self care. No, if you're the type of person that you're afraid to get into the Evolve program because you think you have to have this regimented schedule, don't be scared about that anymore. Nobody's telling you you have to show up at 8 a.m. every day when you know that you at your best self at 11 a.m. You could do it at 11 a.m.
Hmm.
You know, you have support for you. Don't. I mean, you can make the excuses. Like I told somebody when I was at the Art Academy, they were coming in to check out the program. Because Evolve is an extension of the Art Academy. But they came in and they was looking around, and Kevin said to me, "What do you think of the program?" And I said, "Well, I do the Evolve Art program online." And I said, "Yeah, you could go check out other programs, but why? And you have everything you need right here. So only thing I can tell you is you can waste time going to deal with those other programs, and I've tried many, but you're in a good space when you hear it evolve, and I tell everybody that you're in a good space.
Well, thanks for helping to spread the word. I think we're just getting started right on this, and you see it
Yeah,
too. Like we're just getting started on something that I think is really going to change the way art is educated. Which
yeah,
sounds crazy. I'm sure people are listening and rolling their eyes right now, but it's
hmm
true,
yes,
and
it is.
it's just a matter of time before that tidal wave kind of that tipping point happens, and then those who are in the beginning be like, "Oh, I was there in the
Exactly.
beginning."
Exactly, because it's countering. I think the hardest part, and we talk about this a lot too in the homework room, is countering those beliefs about art in general that we've learned over time. So the common ones. Oh, it takes you 7 to 10 years to be a good artist. You're not going to make any money being an artist. That's been blown out of the water, by the way. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
totally.
So let's actually quantify that. Do you have one of your paintings because you only started I didn't know that you had
Yes.
never done anything before because people
Yes.
come in and they've dabbled in college or they've tried a watercolor class or they've done a paint night, at very minimal. But
Right.
I'm curious to see because you finished your drawing in October. It is
Right.
now like as we're recording this, it is December the 6th. So about 2 months ago, you were just
Right.
finishing drawing. Never
Right.
touched a paintbrush
Right.
except for maybe painting a wall in your house or something, right?
No,
So
not that either. Not
okay,
that
so
either.
not, literally zero. Okay, now I want to see where just show us something.
Oh my God. Well, I just did this one yesterday.
Wow.
That's a painting.
Yeah.
And then let me show you something else because this, oh my God, oh, hold on one second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second.
And so, like, just to explain for what was just shown. So, what Peggy's been working on is the program starts in grayscale, and it starts very, very simply. And the whole premise of the program is based on that there's three moving parts. You have hard and soft edges. You have which is like really how the shadow plays, and when you can become a master at that and a master of values, which is like how dark or light something is.
Yeah, and don't worry about your working space either. I'm in a small working space with my easel and everything. So
Okay,
let's see.
oh wow, you've got a great case there to show your
Oh,
work.
look at my unicorn. Oh my God, let me just take it out so you
But
won't get the glare.
and I think what really drew me to the program was that it was all representational. And there are art classes that teach you to do weird stuff, but this is
Right.
like you have the control to do what you want. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's the unicorn. Oh my God, I got stuff in here. Because you're doing stuff that is assigned to you in the program. That's my Piggy. But you also get to create works of your own. So still life stuff, that's the glare is really
No, no, it's coming through clear. But yeah, so these
but
are some of them are photographs that Kevin and the team has
right,
taken and they're designed specifically. It's
right,
like everything is very specific. You don't realize it as you're going through the program, but once you look back, you're like, oh, that was like 10% more difficult, or that was like 5% more difficult. And it's
right.
very specific how things are introduced in a certain order and why you're doing certain things. Because, from the outside looking in, you're like, well, why are you doing this thing? It doesn't look exciting to me. It's like, but that's not the point. The
Right.
point is that you're mastering these tools.
Exactly.
So
And
then you can do
yes.
what you want to do.
Exactly. And right now I could go in some a coworker, he wants me to do this Marlon Brando. He loves Marlon Brando. And he has confidence in me that I will be able to go in and do this Marlon Brando painting for him. That's astounding from the work that he's seen me do already. And I'm not even in color yet. I'm still in grayscale paint. So it's like someone who loves a certain person and they're confident asking you to do that for them. I was blown away by that. So, yeah, this is pretty amazing. This is amazing. I tell people you don't know what you're missing if you want to do art. And look, it's only been like what? Like I started, it's been over a year, but I didn't really get back into it until August. So September, October, November, December, 4 months.
Yeah.
Four
Yeah, it's
months.
it's like
Ah,
that's what's so incredible is how fast it's moving, and then and I think that's the thing as well is that if you do the work or don't do the work, time is going to go, it's not going to slow
right,
down. The time's going to
right.
go by. So when you blink and another year's gone by, you can either be in the end of block 4 with the other students who now everyone is just their
Oh
jaws
yeah,
are
the
on the
work.
floor.
Oh, the work that you're seeing from the other students is just outstanding. And it inspires you because you know how sometimes, like before Evolve, you would see somebody do something amazing and you'd be like, oh man, I hate that person because I want to do that. I don't know how to do that,
Yeah.
and that person is amazing and you get a little jealous and everything. Right now, I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm like, I could do that
No, now
if I
people are
really want.
jealous of you. You're on the other side of that fence.
I'm like, what? And I tell people are like, nah, I can't do that. I'm like, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can. And
Hmm.
so and like you said, energy is flowing and you're using your energy for something. So when are you going to say time out? I'm going to do something for myself. And even if, yes, everybody's busy, everybody is busy doing something. That's not an excuse anymore. How are you going to carve out a half hour from your day? We're not even saying an hour, a half hour just to sit. and paint a spear, just a spear. You can and sit down and feel the accomplishment from doing that. That's miles. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's going shopping for something you don't need doesn't compare. So, and then you can use that money to pay to do your art.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, it
It's
doesn't.
interesting that now that I've gone to like another level of commitment, I feel like there was a lot of activities that I was doing that which was the equivalent of eating potato chips. Like it's just not
Hmm.
there's not a lot of substance there. So
Right.
it's like I used to watch the news or read the news a lot, and then I was just less. And now it's like I don't have time for the news.
That's right.
It's not like I'm actively choosing not. It's like I don't have time for the news because I don't get anything from it. And there's a lot of things that fall into this category. And then
Right.
once in a while, you go back and you're just like, "Hey world, how are you doing? What's happening in the world?" Like, "Oh, nothing." Again, still nothing.
Exactly.
Or
It,
still outrage, depending on where you look. But it's just like I got to get back to the things that really matters to me. The world is going to keep going. It doesn't matter, like. And I think that's the big thing. Time is just it's not stopping for us. We just keep going,
exactly.
and so you have to be intentional about what you want to do.
Exactly. And plus, with the news and everything, there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same thing, it's just different faces. And you have to realize that when you contribute your time, which and money, which is energy, to something that's not rejuvenating you, and people can be rejuvenated in a negative way too, but you have to be honest with yourself. This is the type of energy that I enjoy.
Hmm.
So this is what it's no such thing as somebody's making you or you have to do it because society. No, no, this is something that you've gotten used to. So if you observe where you're putting in your energy and you really want to do, let's say, art, well, you're going to have to make that decision eventually because I always talk about the contrast. People need contrast to be observant of the contrast to know what they really want. And for me, I was angry all the time. Stuff just wasn't going my way. And then I had an experience. I went into the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and there's this Buddha room there. Oh my God. The experience I had going into that room was unreal. I felt so good and so at peace in that room. There was my contrast. Do I want to be angry all the time?
Oh,
Or do I want this sense of peace that it's always there, but we're always covering it up with our past thoughts or being frustrated as to why things are not working well in our lives? And I chose. I said, I like the way this feels. Yeah, this Buddha room, thank you, Buddha. Thank you for the contrast. So when people ask me, how are you so calm? Because a lot of people know me. I mean, yeah, I could be about it. But they're like, how are you so calm? How you don't let things bother you? I'm like, the contrast, man, the contrast. You know,
oh.
that's what you need. And the only way to understand the contrast is to do what I told you to do earlier. Watch yourself. Stop focusing on what everybody else is doing because they live in their life. I tell people all the time with politics and stuff, those people are living the life that they want or don't want, but they're living it. They're not
Hmm.
paying attention to you. Pay attention to you. That's your most important endeavor today. And start off with just 5 minutes. I'm going to watch how I feel. If you're a commuter like me, I'm going to watch how I react to sitting here having to wait. They canceled my train. I got to wait another hour. So not only did I spend 3.5 to 4 hours commuting today, there's another hour added on because the train has been canceled. And I'm fuming because I want to get home. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel that energy. My chest is burning. Oh, yeah, man, this is really, I'm getting ready to go get me a bag of chips or some candy to try to, temper the burning that's in my chest. But then that's going to add on some pounds I don't need. And then, I got to go to bed when I get home, so I'm going to be itching from all the sugar. Do I want to feel like that? Nah. Let me pull out some music, put on my iPad, read a book. You feel better. But you did that. You didn't need to go to a therapist or a doctor. You didn't need to have a heart attack to get the message. You have the power over your life. And I'm a testament to that. And that's why I continue to talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I think it's very. I don't know. I feel like there until you do it, it's hard for it to make sense though. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about
Yeah,
this, but
yeah.
what would be like a good first step? Because for me, what I did, maybe you can go back to when you started, and I'll just quickly tell what I'm doing now. I
Hmm.
wake up in the morning and I write down hour by hour what I want the
Right,
day to be. I'm
right.
intentional about it. I wake up and the first thing is like, well, at this time slot, this hour was record podcasts with Peggy. Then
Okay,
I have another column and I write down what actually happened. And I leave
right,
this note up on my computer because I'm at the computer all day. And when my day starts to go off the rails, when it starts to go crazy and it's not
right.
to plan, I highlight it as yellow. So then I know, oh, I made it 2 hours, and I was only making it like 2 or 3 hours into my day before it was going crazy. Whereas
Right.
now it's like 5 or 6 hours, and I feel pretty good about 5 to 6 hours that I'm happy there. So that's how I started being more intentional and starting to realize where the problems were. How did you start? And then we'll move on in
Right. How do I start it? Well,
ten
like I
years
said, from
ago. Was it just the
10
boiler
years
room,
ago.
or
Oh no. Oh God, what happened 10 years ago? Well, 10 years ago was really about, well, I would say less than 10 years. The financial crisis happened. And I was so overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. I had a part-time business. I was working at night, and I had all these expenses. I moved into this luxury apartment, and I just, after that, I was done. I just crashed. That was a pivotal moment for me because trying to achieve all these things before you're ready, that's not a good thing for me. Um, and then after that, I spiraled down, and I had a whole summer to just sit in it. You have debt, you have all these things that, you've accumulated. They don't go away. You got to pay the money back, you got to do all these things. So I really, at that was a low point where I questioned my what I wanted to do with my life.
mm,
So I would say it started around that time.
and
It was happening
but
before then.
to have like, so I've started by listing out my time.
Oh, what did I do?
Was there like, because I'm wondering if for people who are listening, if they're like, because I was aware of it. I read Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now, but it didn't
Right,
click for me. I still didn't get it.
right,
And I read
right.
that like 3 or 4 years ago, and it wasn't in, because I feel like we talk about this a lot in the Evolve program, is knowledge versus experience. And at some point, you have to have the experience, like you have to do something, and then when you do it, you realize, oh, I didn't actually know anything,
Right.
because
Exactly.
maybe what you know doesn't apply to you. But when you started, was there something that you remember doing? Like, did you have this journal? Did you have the journal back then?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I've
So
always
you just started
journaled.
writing it down and
Writing
kind of
it
like,
down. Right. Every day I do what I call for me an awareness journal. Every day, and it's on. I- It happens when I'm home. I'm good. My home space is beautiful, and I suggest to people, if your home space is not good, get your home space. That's the only thing you're in control in. So try to get that good. But when I leave out of the door and go out into the world, that's when the observation starts. So my commute, walking through, once I get off the train or the bus, going on my way to work, while I'm at work, what things happen throughout my day. I do an awareness journal. I type on a computer awareness, today's date. Somebody spit gum out on the curb. That drives me crazy. And I write about that. That's a pet peeve of mine. So
uh
I write about my day, things that upset me, things that were good,
yeah.
and everything. And I do that daily. I've done that for years. So that was something that helped me
Actually,
too.
I think that is it. So if you're listening and you've never done anything like this, you don't know yourself. I think this is it. Is just starting to track some kind of a metric, which in your case is like what am I noticing?
Right.
So it's not like a number metric per se.
No.
For me, it was a few years ago. I tracked like how happy am I today on a scale of 1 to 10, and I would be
Hmm.
like 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 3, 3, 3. It's like whoa, what happened on those 3 days? Like I'm losing days, and
Right.
so that's where the awareness came that there were things in my life that were not good for me, and so I
Right.
started to actively change my life. So now it's like 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. And a 3 day
Right.
is it's like really a three, like something that is really out of your control. But so much is there's a lot more in your control than you think of.
Right.
I think, and that's what you realize when you're doing this is like, well, if I don't want to see the person spitting the gum, what could I do about it? Like that maybe that's a hard one, but you could always just look at the clouds, right? You know, while you're walking, and
Right.
then you wouldn't see the person, you would fall. But um, okay,
Yeah, but yeah, I just want to add to that right quickly. It helps you get into your belief system though, because why am I upset about a person spitting gum on the ground? Because I believe people shouldn't litter. Oh my God. Okay. Do I have to pay attention? Do I need that belief? No, you don't need that belief. Trash that belief.
mm, if you're listening and all this sounds weird, spend some time thinking about it because it will change your life once it clicks. It will change your
Yes.
life. Um, while you're working on your homework, um, what is on in the background? Do you listen to music? Do you have the anime going? Are you just in the homework clubs? And so, we've been talking a lot about these homework clubs. So basically,
Right.
to explain, I think when I last checked, there's something like 12 times during the week where you can sign in, and there's uh, not every single one there's people in, but pretty much there's somebody working. So you can just go and share the journey, and often the conversations that we have are very much
Yes.
like this. It's just about life.
Exactly.
What's going on? I had a bad day. I had a good day. Struggling with this. I remembering at the time that this happened. But if you're just on your own, what's on in the background? What are you listening to? Or
Oh, just on my own?
yeah,
I have, oh, I'm, it's, it's crazy. I have my anime on. I have on my house music in my ear.
at the same time.
Yes, at the same
Okay.
time. Yes, I do that. But then there's some moments where it's just quiet. But not often. I like a lot of noise in the background. I do. Yeah. So yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, there's some noise, something on TV, and there's some music going on. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the last question. What would you tell a new evolver to inspire them? Somebody who just joined the program yesterday.
Mm, what would I tell them? Oh, let me. Well, I would ask them to be honest with themselves, and is this just something that you just want to do, play around with, or are you really serious about being an artist? And I mean, I'm not talking about going to work for Marvel or anything like that. That may be an aspiration, but are you really committed to being an artist? Are you committed? Because I believe, and from my experience with other evolvers and stuff like that, unless you're committed, you you're going to come into it and it's going to be treated like any other program. And I mean, this program is phenomenal, but you have to commit. And it may take you, like for me, I joined in September, right? All excited the first 2 months. I could say from like December to August. That's a long period of time, right? Didn't really do anything with it. And then August with Mitch hanging out in the homework room. Mitch created the Breakfast Club, and that's where it started for me. So right then and there, I committed to being the best artist I could be with the Evolve program. So it's a commitment, it's a dedication. Are you willing to do that? Otherwise, to me, why bother? And you won't know until you're in it. So be patient with yourself and just have fun. I tell people, don't worry about, oh, I gotta be as better than Jack Kirby. I gotta be better than this person. This line is not right. Oh my God, I got this painting wrong. Oh God, I'm gonna just drop out. No, you're gonna make mistakes. But you have so much help. There's so much encouragement and everything here. So just commit. If you're gonna come in, commit. If you can only do 5 minutes 1 day a week, commit to that. Start with that commitment. And then move further from there. And I'm telling you, you will be blown away by what you get from it. So, yeah, that's the only thing I can say. Just do it. Yeah, so what? I'm doing these other things. I need 30 hours in a day when I'm only getting 24. How's that helping me? No, it's a commitment. It's to me, this is like I've gotten married. I got my ring. I got my involved ring. This is my husband. I'm good. So yeah, just commit. Just commit. If you really want to know how to paint and draw and be great at it, commit to it. That's all. And the
Yeah.
rest will happen on its own. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I think this is really the shortest path, and we're working every day to make it shorter,
Make sure
easier,
that.
better for everyone, which is why it's called Evolve, because it changes every, behind the scenes, sometimes in front of the scenes. It's just changing a little bit to try and make it easier for the students, and yeah, just
And the results speak for themselves, right? I mean, the result, I go to just to let the listeners know, in addition to doing Evolve Online, I go to the Art Academy, the actual school where Kevin teaches. Listen, let me tell you something. Good. Adults and kids are blowing through this program. The paintings the students have done that are on the walls, doing actual portraits. I mean, this is in real time, learning the same things that we're learning in the Evolve program. So if you really want to be good, go with what's good. Don't bother with all the other stuff. We've done that already. I've been through, I don't know how many programs. Mitch, you have your own program, but I don't know how many other programs you've done before you started Pencil Kings and Evolve, but you knew that what you were looking for wasn't out there yet. And you've been exposed to a lot of stuff, more than me. I've been to school and everything, and teachers are not teaching this. I've spoken to people that went to high class schools for art. They had to kick and scream and pay thousands and thousands of dollars, and they don't even get what we've gotten in a few months. So it's a choice, and if you're willing to do Evolve, commit to it. You're going to get everything you need and more.
well, thanks so much for joining us, Peggy. I can't wait to do more of these, and
Yes.
I hope if you're in the program, if you're one of the students and you have yet to reach out to people. I know a lot of people reach out to you behind the scenes. I don't know
Yes.
if you're talking behind my back or what you're doing, but no, I'm sure it's all love and good things. But don't be afraid to reach out to me or to Peggy or to anyone else. Like,
Yes.
we're all kind of in this together. Like, I feel like I'm student number one. I'm going through the program
Right.
as well. Kevin, of course, is the genius who created and who continues to develop the system that we're all using. But we're just all in this together as students, trying to figure it out, like, what's the best way to do it, and we're coming up with all kinds of strategies, because it is a little bit different, because we're all over the world, different time zones, like, all these
Hmm.
different life situations are happening. So we're a pretty amazing group, and it's just going to get better. So yeah, don't
Yes.
feel shy about reaching out.
Yes, you can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook all the time, and you can reach out to me on messengers. Yes, some people do. They reach out to me behind the scenes. They're like, "How is the program? How's the Facebook group really?" And I like, "Oh no, you gotta come in. It's so much fun." And everyone who has reached out to me behind the scenes have came into the homework room and they love it. And they
Uh,
post it on Facebook. They're like, "Oh my God, this is so much fun." So yeah. Make sure you do that. And anything I can do to help, I will.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thanks so much for being, one of the brightest lights in the program. I know you've inspired a lot of people, and like like we've said several times, we're just getting started. So I wish you
Yeah.
all the success in the world as you continue going through this.
Oh, thank you. I'm in a good place. I'm very thankful. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you.
Demands patience, skill, years of practice.
Ah, you talk like a fool. I would trade a century of practice for an ounce of inspiration.